يا أحمد. يا أحمد.
أيوة.
I cannot start the video.
Allow here يا أحمد to open the video. Mine was also closed and it's open.
أيوة.
I cannot
في
start.
إيكو من عندك يا أحمد.
There's the host has stopped it. It's
Allow here يا أحمد to open the video. Mine was also closed and it's open.
أيوة.
I cannot
في
start.
إيكو من عندك يا أحمد.
مش من عندي حبيبي، هذاك اللي مصمم من
The
هون
host
عندي.
has stopped it.
Allow here يا أحمد to open the video. Mine was also closed and it's open.
أيوة.
Allow here يا أحمد to open the video. Mine was also closed and it's open.
أيوة.
Just let us make a test. السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته. بس أهلا. I would like to welcome the participants and just make sure before we start that you can hear us well and there is no echo. Can you just share us with the chat? On the chat اكتبوا لنا بس على الشات if you can hear and see us. السلام عليكم يا شباب. الشات مفتوح يا أستاذ أحمد. أحمد الشات مقفول، الناس بيرفعوا إيديهم. في على question والأنسر قال لي the sound is clear. وأحمد عجيل قال لي شكرا يا أستاذ أحمد، شكرا يا أستاذ محمد شرف. افتح الشات لو سمحت يا أحمد، الكيو أن دي بس هو اللي مفتوح. في على question والأنسر قال لي the sound is clear.
اتفضل.
وأحمد عجيل قال لي yes. أنت لما بتفتح يا أحمد بيجي إيكو، ما تفتحش من عندك بقى. طيب. إيزابيل please share the screen from your side.
Yes.
Here are the slides.
But still, yes, to the slides, we can go there. Let me see. Just still my video is not doing it. Where is the slides? Here we are.
Yes, now I can see it. Very good.
Okay, no, cannot start the video. The host has stopped.
Ahmed, allow her to open her video.
Who is the host? Yes, now it's working. All set.
Yes, alhamdulillah. Okay, we start now. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Wa salatu wa salam ala ashraf al-mursaleen, Sayyidina Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. I would like to welcome everyone for this webinar on behalf of my colleagues at the Global Performance Management Academy in Toronto, Canada. I would like to welcome Dr. Isabel. This, by the way, this is the second time Dr. Isabel joined us in such a program, and the first program was a couple of years ago, and it was extremely successful program. We had a big crowd as well interested in this very important topic. The Academy is very keen almost every week to invite a guest speaker who will deliver a presentation on a topic which is relevant to the focus area of the Global Performance Management Academy, which is strategy. And Dr. Isabel, as you see in the, okay, let's go to the next slide where you're showing.
Sorry.
Okay.
I thought I
So,
missed
Dr. Isabel, I'm saying Isabel, allow me to say this because
absolutely.
I'm a little
Now
bit
that,
embarrassed
it's
if
too
I
complicated.
might not be able to pronounce your last name correctly. Kreuznachar, isn't it? Kreuznachar?
Kreuznacher. Oh, yes, very good.
Kreuznachar,
German.
yes. Mrs. Kreuznachar is a successful innovation consultant for companies and educational institutions. She offers worldwide customized consultancy and programs in the area of innovation, entrepreneurial personality, and intercultural management. She helps companies to implement sustainable innovation from within. Her current focus, luckily, is on Saudi Arabia. She is and has been teaching in the above-mentioned area of design thinking and entrepreneurial mindset in Germany, EBS University for Witchcraft and Recht in
Oh,
India.
also German. Very good. Economy and law.
Economy and law, okay. India Christ University, Italy, Luis Business School, Saudi Arabia. Yesterday, I was talking to one of our graduates, and she was very happy to tell me that she studied under, the design thinking course with you in Dar al Hikmah.
Wow.
And yes, and she just said she was on a trip with you to Italy, I think, or
Yes, so
Germany.
it's Amani. Yeah. Nice.
Yes, Germany, right.
Mhm.
So in Switzerland as well. We are very happy to have Dr. Isabel with us. Last time we had a program, and you wouldn't believe it, everybody loved every second of the program. Today we have a webinar, short webinar. It's an introduction. It will introduce the concept of design thinking, and we have arranged it. We are so proud at the Academy that she has agreed to book in her calendar the period from April 12 to 16. So this will be after Eid, inshallah, after Ramadan is over. So she will offer the program for the second time. And the first time, it was about 2 years ago. We had very large crowd who really have learned a lot, and they had made developed the case study. So we invite all the participants at the end of the program. If they are interested, they can communicate with us, and we'll be very happy to answer their any queries. I'm very glad. My name, I didn't mention at the beginning, is Dr. 3M or Muhammad Mustafa Mahmoud. I am the head of the academic certification program in the Academy. We have with us Reem, and Reem is she is the mastermind behind arranging all of this. And Reem, she's a very helpful person. She's located in our office, Middle East office in Cairo. And I think, are you in Saudi Arabia, Isabel, now?
At this time, I'm in Rome, no. But I will be in Jeddah end of March, the last 10 days of Ramadan.
I am speaking from Medina, you're from Rome, and Reem and Ahmed, they are in Cairo. Without further ado, and I didn't want to take much of your time, I will just give you the floor, and the floor is yours. Now it's 8:09. We hope to finish by 9 o'clock Saudi time. And if you have any questions, just drop them at the chat, and Isabel will be happy to look at them and answer them at the end of the presentation, or whatever she likes, according to her own way. Thanks a lot, and welcome again, Isabel.
Yes, and thank you so much for the warm welcome. But you said the expectations very, very, very high. So hopefully we can meet this. Yes, it was 2 years ago we had this course again, and also a nice community, but somehow we were lost. And now we are back on track. We are offering the same and even more. I will tell you later that it's a holistic program. It's not only the essentials, but the essential is just the beginning also of regular things. So now I'm making as short as possible to give you an introduction to the design thinking method. So just to make you maybe a little bit curious, and of course that we can have more time for discussion. So let me start. Yes. Good. What is design thinking? I think I'm in the design, or I might even introduce myself. So I'm in the design thinking scene now since about 16 years. Yes, I'm coming from entrepreneurship and entrepreneurial personality development. And normally for me, it's design thinking teaching at university, but mainly it's design thinking consultancy. And I was in Dar al Hikmah in Saudi Arabia. It was a very nice 2013, where this student, you told, Amani, was with me there in that course. It was another Saudi Arabia than it's now, of course. And I came back 2020, but to work for companies, Saudi Telecom, and also for the Saudi Film Commission until lately. Now I'm more based in Germany. Good. What is design thinking? I have here a video. It's a couple of years old. It's from a German advertisement. I gave you some subtitles, but in the end, you will understand that this video is summarizing the main thing you need to know about design thinking. So just look at this 1 minute.
Mit Messer Rasenmäher könnte eine gute Idee sein.
Ist es aber nicht. Ganz im Ernst. Wer braucht sowas?
Der neue Dacia Sandero hat nur, was man wirklich braucht. Deutschland. Dacia,
Okay.
das Statussymbol für alle, die kein Statussymbol brauchen.
That's the clue. So we can have, we can have so many ideas. But to make an idea successful, meaning innovation, which is nothing else than an implemented idea in the market, so I can buy the product, I'm using the new process, I'm using the service, or I have improved something, has normally 3 things. It's not just an idea. It's then, this is where you come, technical feasible, a lawnmower in the car would be possible, okay? Viable for business is another rule, of course. On the long term, you want to make money out of this. But here, this was the design thinking when it started to change the mindset in the 80s and 90s. It needs to be desired by people. So we need to understand the latent needs. We need to understand our users, our customer better than they understand themselves. So this is where design thinking is starting here. We need to start the human beings with all their needs, latent needs, what they're not telling at the first time. We need to really deeply understand. And only if we can be secure of this, we go over to make it technically feasible. And it's really the last one is viable for business. Mainly or still companies are here. I have an invention like this lawnmower. Maybe I take marketing people and push and push and push, spend a lot of money. But the design thinking method means we just start here and then the rest will come easily because I need to be this emotional touch. So let's say the original term is human-centered innovation, which for me is really nice. It's the beginning, it's explaining it better. And design thinking is the same term because it comes from construction and how the design thinker mindset looks like. I have the last slide is about this. So human-centered innovation is a mindset. And this is also our program is about to have this basics, because to become a design thinker, you have to practice, you have to have a lot of projects, maybe apply different tools. But the main thing is this customer-centric mindset. And this needs to be a routine in yourself. So customer centricity means, of course, that at one hand, we are going for the discovering latent needs in the first exploratory need finding. So first go out and understand what people are wanting until we can be really sure this is the problem or this is the behavior pattern. Then we might have an idea, but it's not then many companies, unfortunately, still doing it, having an idea and then going into details, spending money and time. No, we're having an idea. And then we directly go out again to the customer and co-create together. Means very low resolution prototypes. And we go and we really do many, many iterations. Let's say 3 or 4 iterations per project is the minimum. And then if you don't have that mindset, because everything is very naturally, if you don't have the mindset, we have this process originally coming from IDEO or from Stanford University. It has 5 steps. Understand and observe is just empathize, but there's very much behind, so we split it up. If you don't have the customer-centric mindset, this process helps you to be customer-centric because, as you see, it's not allowing you to go into solution finding before you did not have done those 3 first steps, like understand who's our stakeholders, what is the target group, what benchmark, is there any other competitor, what has been done already, what do we know about the challenge. So everything the status quo. Then having a mini expert, let's say having some knowledge in the team as an expert, we go out, observe and see other perspectives, do interviews, do observations, maybe surveys not, it's very qualitative at this first exploratory need finding. We go out and ask other people, observe mainly, observe ourselves in other situations, until we come in the synthesize to really say, okay, actually, we have seen in our last 3 weeks of research, this and this and this is the problem. And now we are facing one of the problem areas. And now is the first time to go into ideation. So it's really forcing me to stay very long and sometimes uncomfortable in the need finding phase until I can be sure. And then I'm going into ideation directly after I have a couple of ideas. I select the best. I go into a rough prototyping. And with the prototype, I'm testing and going backwards and forwards. Sometimes it's happening in the testing. You say, oh my God, I totally forgot something, some law or any condition, and you go even back. Yes, I see there is a hand rising. I don't, if it's quick, we might answer directly. If not, I might answer the questions afterwards. Yes, please.
We will not allow the mic at the webinar usually. So if anybody has questions, they just put it in the chat.
Okay, but unfortunately, I'm German and I'm not multitasking. So I think somebody of you maybe can read them. And
yes, yeah, you can carry on, and I will read them for you at the very end. You just carry on.
Yes, okay. Okay, so this is the process, 6 steps, and this helps us to get this customer-centric mindset. And even more, everything normal, there's nothing really new about it. It's just to doing the process. And then we can go even further into each step. We do it naturally, but if we are unsure, there are a couple of frameworks we can use, frameworks and tools. Here, I'm listing 36 tools, which I really always use normally. I think by now, because design thinking has become such a hype, there are over 200 tools in the market. Everybody's saying, oh, design thinking tool. The thing is, yes, you can have 300 tools, but the first thing is stay also with your mind, with your creative mind, and do the steps. If you don't be fixed on doing the frameworks, because frameworks are not the real world. Sometimes framework is not fitting. But you see, even there, we can have support by different frameworks if we don't know what to do in the different phase. Of course, it's with a design thinker, so it depends the nature of the project, which of the tools we are using. We're mainly not using everything, either or in the synthesis phase, for example. So we can use the process as a whole. Very often also in companies, I'm just using single tools in order to get some objective that we have, or just the key principle and the mindset. And this, I'm really meaning, I'm mainly sitting also and with a big change project right now in Germany, sitting there and being just in the meetings that at some points, okay, let's ask the users how they would do it. So if you're on a PMO and you're talking about we should do this or this, how can we do the template? The first thing is, okay, just send it out, our first draft, and let them give us feedback. So it's all about, it's small things, but this customer centricity then is a mindset and helps you everywhere. Okay, now I'm opening the chat because now I have a nice question for you to test another kind. It's just customer centricity, but something hidden here, another design thinking, let's say principle, need finding before solution finding. So you see here a woman and she wants to reach up to the super saving packs of diapers. And the question is, what is the need here? You can type in the chat now. I see a letter. Step. Okay, and we are getting more. Handling machine. Aha, now it's stool. Yes, let me see. Let's proceed. Yes, normally we say she needs a ladder. Lower shelf, safe access. Now my question to you is here. Because we have okay, now we have really different answer. That's nice. I'm stopping to look the chat now. So she needs a ladder. So rather, the question now is this ladder or step or stool or whatever, is this a need or is it a solution? Now I'm looking back in the chat. Need or solution? The solution. Exactly, it's a solution. And that's the thing in our mind, especially consultants, as I am an innovation consultant, normally you have to have quick solutions in your mind, right? But a design thinker would not give her a ladder. Design thinker normally said, okay, but why is she reaching up? Why does she need the super saving packs? Maybe, I don't know, does she has time problems with, or she lives far away from the supermarket, so she buys on stock? Or is it a money issue? So the design thinker, let's say, slows down with solutions and really tries to understand the problem, maybe talks to her and so forth. So because if the problem is time, the ladder is not the right solution. And the funny thing is, she might even say, oh, fantastic, you helped me, you solved my problem. Okay, but the design thinker would then give her maybe a free delivery service at home or something like this. And then she would say, oh my God, this is what I really needed. So a design thinker gives normally afterwards solutions that the customer has not even dreamed of or not required. He cannot even imagine that he needs this solution, but it's the design thinker who is interpreting the needs and then doing the solutions on it. Yes, let me see if now I'm too curious if there is anything. Yes. Yes, she wants everything. That's good. Yes, she wants everything to be in her. But the magic word everywhere, and I'm using it even in private time, why? Why is she doing what she's doing? Why are you doing what you're doing? It's always the why. So that was just one little thing. And so we have here the process, and also in our training program, we have a small challenge. And interactively, we will go through all the processes. So we have some tools, but of course not everything. And this is so that you learn about, especially to stay calm and go deeper until you have the problem. And then also once you have a solution, don't make it now into details, but go prototype, test, prototype, test. So this is mainly what we are doing. And with this process and mindset, what you can do and what I'm doing, where are we? Here. What we are doing is, it comes, of course, from creating a new customer experience. Let's say this is the original of this. We learn also more in the real training. So, or define a new product in the product portfolio, improve or modify a product or service. This is very nice, especially, for example, after COVID, everything has changed. So what do we need to do to make, to adapt to the new customer needs? Also, it's always the same procedure, understand the customer's needs and then apply on the product. Improve internal processes. I'm doing a lot. You can use it for marketing strategy. Of course, I'm coming to the human being, understand them. So of course, I understand all the emotional triggers, and I understand how to pitch, how to reach out emotionally, of course. I did do, and I'm doing it, is implementing a new department. And what I'm doing now, empowering employees for change, or just use single selected tools in a specific context. Even if it's not a design thinking, if it's just something, I'm always using any design thinking tool. Can you help me with the lessons learned? And I will use any tool, maybe a feedback matrix from here, and do always the same. So for me, design thinking solves everything, but it's really, after now 16 years, of course, in implementing it in different industries, implementing it with different companies, different projects, natures, everything. It becomes your DNA at one point. Are there any questions so far? I stayed even in my 20 minutes so far because now I'm talking also about the program. Let me see. Mhm. Okay. Could you repeat the concept? So the concept, if I go back, the concept we see right in the beginning. Or the program, I guess you mean, right? Let me just proceed. Now I don't know what you're seeing. I think I stopped sharing at a point. Yes. So when we go, the concept now, the new thing, so we did this training 2 years ago. Now it's more or less the same training, but we say, okay, this is the beginning point, the design thinking essentials, so that we at least have a good understanding of the process, of this mindset of solution need finding before solution finding and all of this. And once we have this, we planned now for every 2 months, we have deep dive workshops. For example, how to improve processes using the journey. And you see many examples of the journey. We do our journey of ourselves and we discuss how you can do it individually in your company. Or for marketing strategy or a new product development, how to do a design thinking persona and an empathy map. How to use different ideation methods, even they may be using some other AI tools. Or on a topic where we say, what are you doing, what are you using, and how are you using design thinking to implement change in a company? Other methods of prototyping, or how do you do it for mobility, or whatever you have, if there is waste management, whatever there is, or even design your life. That's my special passion, where you apply design thinking to find your own way for your career or professional life. So there is a lot of things, and we are also design thinkers, or we became with the GPMA design thinkers and very customer centric. So we have many methods already in our mind, but it will be in the end you as a community together to decide what is the main interest. So we might do some survey, what is your main interest? And we see if there is a pattern, then we say, okay, of course, then we focus on this. The training is, I think, as usual, it's 12 hours. It's like 4 times 3.5 hours, something like this. And the method workshops are really 3 hours. 3 hours here, 3 hours there. It's shorter, but of course, according to what you are interested in. Exactly. And the executive program, we focus on that mindset while applying with you the process. That was it from my side. Now I will stop sharing and let me also look into the chat if there is something. Okay, are there any more questions? Oh, we are very fast now. Are there any questions? Anything I should explain better? Is the concept clear? The name of this framework is, well, I'm supposing the innovation method. It's design thinking. And from this framework, no, the framework of our program is just done by us, GPME. Okay. Actually, I don't have nothing to continue because I was planning to do it for a maximum of 30 minutes in order to have more time with you to discuss. Yes.
So if you can just tell us a real life story where the design thinking has been used in practice and you have seen its benefit.
Mm-hmm. So, for example, myself at a telecommunication company in Saudi Arabia, what we did there, let's say very naturally, also being agile, but per default, a design thinker is always curious. So being with each department, just trying to understand what they are doing, where are the pain points and so forth, gave us a big overview to see where in the process is your main pain points, and then ideate to make the processes better. Or then if we define, okay, here's the main the pain point, for example, in the translation of a given requirement from outside and how we can make it an IT topic, then it was, okay, let's work on giving them a better framework to communicate better to them. What else did we do? We were developing an app that was for a governmental program, but this was in Switzerland, for example, where they wanted to have neighborhood help. Okay, so we were asked to develop an app with this. This was very practical, but also there's always the same procedure. Talk to the people, deeply understand them, and then go to the technical basis. We have the German Telekom, which is very interesting, and I'm sorry that I don't have the pictures here now. They even have rooms that are set up to empathize completely with their target group. So if it's for young people, for teenies, they would set up a room with a bed, with the magazines, with the technologies, with the books they are reading, with everything that is there. So you just lie down in the bed and feel, really feel as a teenager feels. And only if the team members have done this, you're allowed to proceed with the teams. Those are small things if you really go into this customer-centric mindset. Another thing also there in Saudi Arabia, what we were doing in the beginning, it is always the same thing. Yeah, let's work on a strategy. And if there is any strategy we know from well-known companies and consultancies, we say, okay, they did it, so let's take this and it will be a success. But the reality is normally different because each target group is different. So also there we said, yes, okay, roughly we can do this to set up an innovation department for the Film Commission to boost Saudi films. The nice thing is that we can set up the strategy on theory, but for me it was important, and we went out and we did workshops with actors, with the production companies, with people. We talked to them, what do they need and what do you expect from the Film Commission in order to confirm and offering the right services, because there's a lot of things where you can spend a lot of money, but maybe it's more about creating awareness, what is innovation and what innovative products there are, instead of directly having a big incubator, which is a lot of costs involved, instead of, yes, interactive sessions. So this is where we applied it. A Spanish bank, they wanted to understand, are there business opportunities for us to enter with our Spanish financial services, anything in the Indian or in the Chinese market? So we were going there to China, to India, to understand, to really empathize with the people, and gave them a recommendation. That was just up to the need finding, not for the complete solution. Many things. Maybe you ask me about an industry where we can apply it. I can give you an example. There's so many things.
Very good. There is an industry-specific question, I think, from Al-Inzi. How can we use design thinking in building new training programs? And I'm glad he asked this question, because in the GPMA Academy, we would like to apply design thinking when we develop a new training program, especially when it has different elements of communication, like online video libraries, the chatting like we did now, and so on. So please.
That's interesting, yes. So, okay, let's how can we design building new training programs? So it will always be the same procedure. So normally you would go even ask me or whoever you know and ask, okay, did you ever attend training programs, online, offline, analog? What did you like about it? What did you not like about it? So you're talking to a lot of different people and then see where's the pattern. Maybe it's all about the trainer, or it's all about the location. You never know. So you try to shrink down what makes the training experience good, to shrink it down to maybe 3 or 6 topics, so that it's small enough to proceed with really solution finding. And if it's all about the location, then you're ideating, okay, how can we make it an experience with the location, something like this. But the main thing is talk first. We had this here in Rome. It was exactly the same thing. The museum director, to my friend, approached and said, we have one hall, which is free. How can we use this to offer workshops to attract more artists and make them self-aware? And the thing is, Isabel, can you help us in setting the curriculum instead? And I said, let's first talk to the artists. And they said, no, let's first write the schedule, the thing. And I said, no, we need to first understand. So sometimes it's so, for me, it's so natural, but still for other people not. Did that answer the question?
Yeah.
So how
Before-
can design thinking be effectively integrated product? It's the same thing. And business goals while fostering innovation. This is the same thing. So also here in the beginning, we always say, who are our stakeholders? Even now when we're coming to kids later, or in that here, one big stakeholder is your management group. So you need to be very aware of what they want. So you would also talk to them. What is their goal? What is their strategy? What is most important to them? What is the hidden agenda, politics, whatever there is, try to understand their point of view. Then, of course, the customer's point of view, and maybe whoever. Stakeholder is whoever is involved in this idea that, let's say, that he's buying the idea or that he is a decision maker to implement the idea. And then, so you have many, many perspectives, and then it depends. In the synthesis, we can use, maybe, let me see, some tools. And then in the synthesis, maybe we go, or I'm describing it here. Let me share this. How can I share here? So if you would be here in the synthesis, okay, we say, okay, maybe it's about making a diagram, 3 circles. This is the management pain points and aspirations. This is the customer's pain points and aspiration. And this is something else. So let's see where's the overlapping. And then we start where's the overlapping with the solution finding so that we have something that everybody wants. That would be here. If we want to improve a process, as I said before, we normally use the customer journey for it. Both user needs and business. But the thing is, it's like, let's say, agility is also because they have in common this customer-centric mind. To make sure that both user needs and business goals while fostering innovation is that you're always in feedback loops. So whenever you have any idea or anything here, or make it a prototype is really a 1-minute scribble on this. What do you think? Can we set up our process like this? Go with that paper to your management and they say yes or no. Go to the users at the end of the process who needs to do it and then do it together with them.
Can you just read the name of the 36 tools so at least people will be familiar with the names, please?
So the phases are understand, observe, synthesize, ideate, prototype, and test. And what I was just telling, this mainly it's the synthesis maybe where you use, according to the project nature, different tools. Storytelling we always do, and normally we go for clustering. So to see what are the patterns that everybody somehow it's repeating. When we said a training program or something, from all the users we were asking, there's a pattern arising. Or we use the customer journey when it's more about creating an experience, a long process, or experience, for example, licensing process for film commission, where we understand, oh, it's not just starting at a platform, loading up, but a customer journey is normally starting at my home or at the office and is saying, oh, what kind of licenses do I need? Where do I need to go? Who is helping me in this? And so often also in companies, the journey is seen like a train ride. The journey is the train ride inside the train wagon or in the metro. But a customer journey begins normally from home, being back at home, from planning, from going there, from riding, from changing, from going home. So this is normally lost. Diagram is what we said, when if we have really fighting stakeholders involved somehow. For example, if you want to have how to improve collaboration within a company, you would mainly ask also there the main departments and then see what is the overlapping things, where can we start, and so forth. Or you go for a persona. Let's go back to the questions. How can I teach my kids from early ages to be design thinkers? That is a very nice question. That is a very nice question. I think indirectly I might do it. I have a kid from 7 years. The main thing what you can do is staying objective. So it's first of all, why? Why do you ask this? Or why do you think this is? So always try to, like it's psychologists, to go to the heart or the source of everything. And teach the normal thing to be curious about other perspective. So for example, if he's coming home and said, oh my God, he's so mean, my friend is so mean, and he was just, I don't know, he was slapping the face of another, he's just such a mean boy. And the first thing is, interesting, but why do you think did he do this? What happened before and so forth? So to always make sure that you understand the full picture before you come to any conclusion. I think this is already a design thinking mindset. Not jumping into solution or into conclusion, but really stay very long to be sure I understand all perspectives. And only if I think I have the full picture, I'm going on. Yes. Okay, see if there's any. What's your advice for beginners? Yeah, well, this training course is the is the best advice for beginners, because we take you from, let's say, 0. It will be a very easy challenge, but you will, nevertheless, you will do a lot of things of this tools using it. That's a nice thing. I can make sure through Ahmed and Ms. Reem, of course, that I give you some literature to read, but let's say the training program as it's the essentials really is a very good start. Is it better to have industry experts to run the process? Well, everybody, it's the important thing is that you are a design thinker, let's say. If he comes from industry or not, let's say if there is a project, normally also myself, I have a small innovation company, but it's like freelancers. So it depends on the nature of the project that you are looking for the team members. If it's a highly technical project, you will very much make sure that you have an engineer or someone even inside the company who is there from the perspective. But normally we try to have at least 2 people who have no clue at all. It was the same with me when I did this huge program with a Spanish bank. At one point I was really saying, it was my very first big project. And I said, guys, I just want to make sure I have no idea of finance and banking sector. And they said, and this is why we need you in the project. Because you will, sorry, I don't have the slide here, because you will ask everything. You will not take anything for granted. You will ask even why is the ATM machine having a display and not whatever, a voice tool, okay? So it depends. It really depends. It depends on the project nature, and if you mean someone who's facilitating this, he just needs facilitation skills to see that everybody also in the team, we have normally different personalities, maybe international teams, who is very much aware to include also inside the team all the perspectives and make everybody talk, because design thinker is very much aware that everybody can contribute, and the more different you are from me, the better it is, because I'm enriching my perspective. Yes. Is it necessary to use all? No, it's not necessary. Absolutely not. Also, it depends again, what is your problem or what is your project? And then normally it defines what is it. What is always necessary is, I think, in the beginning to understand well the challenge, also challenge the challenge. You want me to share it again? So absolutely necessary will be always define the challenge, maybe also talk to the client if this is really what he's wants you to work on, and a stakeholder map and a context card. This is additionally, it helps you benchmark. Yes, I think by default, everybody right now is, it's like, what do we know? It's the same kind of doing a benchmark. But the stakeholder map is very crucial, because especially if we have a fantastic idea and the user wants it, but we forgot the stakeholder who is giving us the money or who needs to say yes. For example, we can have a fantastic service for students in a university, but we forgot to talk to the administration or to the director, and he has other aims, he has other things we did not understand, and then of course the idea is blocked, it's not implemented. So this is very crucial to understand them so that you can include them. Yeah, interviews, of course. Yeah. Yes, so in the workshop, define the challenge, stakeholder map, context card, what is there? It depends on which challenge I'm giving you. We can agree with GPMA or with a survey. Customer journey we might even take. Yes. 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 Maybe if you're doing it at home. Yes. Here, for example, here we will use, depending on the challenge, one of this specifically. Yes, yes, we will more or less use it. Interesting. Is qualitative research enough? That is a very good point. So in the beginning, everything is qualitative. We said we have the exploratory. Where is it? We said somewhere, let's say I have this. Oh, I'm somewhere else. I somehow opened. Oh, I opened already the first introduction session. Funny. I don't know why this opened alone. Okay, but anyway, let me go to back to here, maybe. Okay, this is very similar here. Where we say, okay, here, the deep understanding of needs, here in this exploratory research phase, we are very much qualitative. So we get inspiration. It's not to gather data, but it's really to get inspired, because it's about the design thinking team, how they are interpreting it. When it comes here to the co-creation process, so once we will test, the first is the general idea, is this something that they like? Yes or not? So, and then we are starting. And then the more you are here in that phase, there's absolutely qualitative research. There you might even say A/B questions, or do you prefer this, or this layout for your app? Do you prefer red or green? So there we can use in parallel many tools the more we are into the fine tuning. But in the beginning, no. In the beginning, it's only qualitative. It comes from ideations onwards, then we're using quantitative research. How can I show anything? Ooh, that's good. So first of all, I personally would do it like this. If you say, especially in your team, you want to work with a design thinking method, you might need to make sure, is the team, so I would not force something. Also so when we as consultants try to implement design thinking and the mindset in a company, it would be first to make a boot camp. Who is interested in design thinking will come. And who after the boot camp is interested to continue with this and really work with this method will come. So it's everything on optional, who wants. Later you can force it, but this is my recommendation. And if it's about your team, I would sit down and make them pitch what is design thinking, the benefits, if they heard of it, and their doubts, whatever, make a discussion. And then decide together you want. If you have someone in the team who said, oh, I tried design thinking once, it's absolutely not working, it's fine. You can say, let's try it again, or you really exclude him. Because if you it needs to be positive, especially in the beginning. You might feel insecure or something. So you should make sure that in the beginning they are d'accord. And then I think from there it will spread. Then you do small challenges, then you do bigger challenges, then you, very important is also inside your company, maybe you have one room dedicated for design thinking, so it's visible, people pass by, they see post-its working, they see creative stuff, and so forth, and then make it slow from inside. Otherwise, if you have the men also there, if you have the manager, we had it once, we needed to transform them. So 400 people needed to make training, that was forced from management. Okay, 400 people had training for us, similar to yours. And then we, as coaches, gave recommendation to the single manager what were very suitable people. Of course, they were asked, they should tell us if they want to continue to work in design thinking. But also from our point of view, we were, of course, also observing how they are behaving during the training and with other team members. And we gave our recommendations. So also there, the mindset is always observing, talking, and finding out where's the trigger. Yes, what is the actual impact of design thinking methods on the outcome of our work? I think the impact is first that the products are better. Hopefully. This is one thing. I can tell, for me personally, it was the best feedback also to solve a company project, but at the same time training the people on it. It was small group, 5 people. So it was a very intensive time. And when it was over, we were saying, oh, fantastic, and everything was good. But then one of them, she approached me and said, I'm really gonna miss it. I never before in my 20 years of work felt so much appreciated and that somebody is asking my opinion. And I think for me, that was the main impact that working with design thinking, because it is very much appreciating. As I know, I am Isabel with this and this background, and I am aware that I have a limited, even if I try to be open, I have a limited view of the things. So I'm eager to understand other perspective to enrich. And normally in teams, we have this strong personalities, or especially in hierarchies, strong personalities who are talking and then you say yes and no. But a design thinking team only lives and has good results if they work closely together. So constantly they are asking, what is your opinion? What do you think? What is your input? So that was one option, but normally, hi there, I'm German. Nice to meet you guys. Garman. Sorry. But normally the outcome is you have better products, and the outcome is if you're using design thinking, especially here. So let's say you use design thinking in your team, and whatever there is, product or service, whatever there is, the design thinking process is ending when you have tested your product. So when you stand up in front of your manager or anyone who needs to give you the investment for this or the budget, if it's in a company or outside, the one who's giving you the money, you stand before him and you can tell him, so we talked to people, the people told us this, we have this idea, we tested the idea, and we have 100 people who would already buy the product with this color and in this. Okay, so you can convince much better, because the trust of a tested product, of course, it's much higher that you're not going to fail because you co-created it together with the customer. So if there's someone who did it with the design thinking method and delivers you a concept with a tested prototype where they understand and have proofs that people like it and they like it that way, or you have someone who they just developed and designed, maybe they're on the computer in their office. The investor or the clever manager would more invest absolutely in your design thinking project. That's also a benefit, I think. Could we use this framework for redesign any process that already established in our design? Yes, absolutely. This is normally what we're always doing. Because then you would, we are doing is, especially this would be in the method workshop of German, of a journey. So this is normally when you analyze the as-is process, and very important, you always talk normally to the stakeholders, to the people in that department working on the process. You go to their office. This is what I'm doing all the time, also where I'm doing the change program now. And you find out what is the issue. So what's your problem? What's the pain point? What is unnerving and what do you like? And then you find where is the pain points in the process. And then, of course, you try to find solutions. The good thing is we, staying with the journey, we analyze the whole process. If you're doing it one department with their field as a part of a process, maybe, you might solve a bug, let's call it this way, but it's not really solving the issue. So a design thinker always wants to have the full picture of the full journey, because maybe there's a problem behind which has nothing directly to do with the systems or what they're using, but maybe with a management issue, whatever. And then you redesign, and maybe also the others are solved. But this here, to redesign any process that is already established, absolutely, that's the main work. How does the iterative nature of design thinking impact its effectiveness in fast-paced project with tight deadlines? Nothing, because the prototype takes 5 minutes. So what we are doing now also, we are trying to implement new systems in a huge governmental company. It's the same thing. While before they were having a huge when they were gathering requirements, huge documents, it took a lot of time, and in the end they were developing something and then it was not what the customer wanted. We are now establishing it very small, feature-based, okay? So we have many things that the call center needs to do. Now we are only talking about this feature. What you like, not like, okay. In the new system, we can do it like this, on a paper. I can show you in prototype. It's really, we're going on paper prototypes and sit there and say, okay, if it's not this, what other button do you need? Okay, agreed. And then it goes to the developers in very small sprints, let's say. If you say tight deadlines, if it's small sprints, maybe you're working, it's perfect, because design thinking is not allowing you to invest a lot of time in prototyping in the beginning. You can invest a lot more if it's clear that this is fine, then you can do much more higher resolution. But the fast iteration in the beginning, especially, it's perfect because it's paper prototypes. Yes, exactly, like an agile method. Can you describe the difference between design thinking and brainstorming, problem solving, solution finding? Yes, so I would say the design thinking is everything, is the whole approach. Okay, this is that we are following a process, that we have this mindset, that we have the principles, and we have tools beneath. Brainstorming, now I need to go out here. It's just one further. Brainstorming is one tool here to use in solution finding. One tool. We have Crazy 8, we have a lot of other methods, even what we're doing. So this is really an ideation tool, brainstorming, an ideation method, creativity method. And design thinking is the whole thing. Yes. More questions.
Isabel, it is 8:59. I would like just, if you don't mind, use the remaining few minutes to just give us an idea about the format of the training, and what they will cover. Are there any hands-on practice? Will they be able to communicate with you if they have their own projects in our WhatsApp group? So just walk us through the training curriculum.
Yes, so the training will be, in the beginning, I might do a more profound introduction maybe of design thinking, but not too much, because then we will deep dive into each phase. So I will give you input, this is it. We will have groups, and then you work on it. So you experience the method. It's not, now it was theory. Also there, the introduction, maybe 20 minutes, 30 minutes again. It's the maximum of speech. And then it will be about 5 or 10 minutes of introduction. You on a group will be doing something. We will work on a Miro board, and I also recommend, so before we start, because we had some technical issues, we will have a very small 20-minute session before the training, where I just show you how to do this with the Miro board. So this is easy to see, to do for you. Okay, this is what we're doing. So it is very interactive. You will interview other people or yourself, and I'm giving you some example interviews, like a cut video of how it would be in real life. This would be it. Then, of course, it was very helpful. We will form a WhatsApp group so that for sharing some documents, for questions, we will always be connected. Especially that we are planning this more holistic program also for later on, where you can say, oh, I would like to know more about this, and so forth.
Are there any references for case studies where participants can go and examine different product and services development?
I am very sure there are. I can make sure that I'm doing a little, or ask some colleagues, and then I will forward to GPMA so they can read before. We can upload it on your server.
Excellent. Ahmed, do you like to share the barcode for people who are interested to learn more about the content of the program? There is a.
I think I can also do it. I
Yes.
think I still have this.
Yes, this is the
If
one.
you don't mind, let me
yes.
do it from my end because I just changed one of those codes. So this right here is the link to the page where they can download anyone who needs extra information about the training program. They can download the flyer or register from there. So I will keep this on for just a few seconds before I go on to the next slide. So if anyone wants to scan the code, they will get the chance.
And I'm answering some questions here. The marketing research is same as design thinking. I think yes, if it's done good, yes. Especially if you are, for example, this is what I'm saying, design thinking is nothing really new. It's just the same schemata. For example, the design thinking interview is special in a form that we're never inviting an interview partner somewhere on the table in a conference room, but you would go out. So in marketing research, you would say it's a field visit. So also the design thinking qualitative interview is a field visit together with questions. So if marketing research is doing qualitative and quant, I think it's good. Only that marketing research then knows the customer, and yes, is then maybe ideating on the marketing strategy. Design thinking is used also for process improvement, for modification, for product development, customer experience, and like an end product. But you're correct, it's very similar. I think design thinking is more on problem defining. It's both. So we have need finding and solution finding. I think the power is the problem defining, because you can have so wonderful solution, but if it's not suitable to the customer needs, then it will still not be the bestseller. So both needs to be. So there's the power, and then in the problem solving, important is that whatever you have as an idea in the design thinking mindset, you're going to test before you refine and refine and refine. Always refine together with the user. That's the main thing.
Okay.
Healthcare industry. That's the last. And then please, no questions. Here I see the last question, healthcare industry. I think this is the same. So to analyze quickly the processes, so you can make healthcare system. We started for, of course, patient experience. There it was in one hospital. I can't remember. It was in South Germany. There was the project where they really said, okay, let's do customer-centric research. Let's do design thinking from patient experience. And there's one thing that patients, I don't know how it was called, the long-term patients, like in half coma or something. The simple things like lie down in the bed of such a patient and observe from his side. And what this patient is seeing days, weeks, is just a white ceiling. So you can have nice pictures on the wall, you can have flowers there, but this patient is not seeing anything else than this damn white ceiling, for example. Okay, so you can improve there. Or we were going in a hospital, in a bigger one, to the processes, talking to the department, understood that the information is completely lost and very bad. So that was more of organizing and setting rules, who is informing and reporting and giving information about a patient to what department, for example. So the procedure is this customer centricity, to talk to the stakeholders that are involved in the challenge.
I just scanned this barcode to join the WhatsApp community. So I just would like to invite all the participants, if you'd like to keep in touch with each other, share information, establish your own community of practice where you share resources, examples, ask questions. I believe Dr. Isabel will join the group as well. So this will be a very good opportunity to continue to be in touch for those who are interested to continue to communicate. I see people are scanning and the number of participants are growing. I'm very happy to see this, and we hope that this platform will enable you to learn more, whether you attended the training or not. This group is open for all of the people who attended tonight's webinar. Also, tonight's webinar was broadcasted on YouTube simultaneously, and we had a few bunch of people there as well. And we will include the code at the description of the video. So on an ongoing basis, people can join the group as well. Do you like to add any final comments or advice for our future design thinking practitioners?
I think whatever you can do now, from now in this moment onwards, try to challenge everything. Why am I eating this, what I'm eating? Okay, or ask always, okay, is it this person that offended me, or what is the perspective from the other person? Is trying to understand, to be curious about other perspective and the why behind. Then you are already in that mindset.
I cannot just, because today I was on a consulting assignment, designing a new organizational structure for the organization as they just finished their strategy. And you mentioned that design thinking can be used when you design a new department.
Yes.
I'm just wondering, how design thinking applies in this context.
Well, we did this for an Austrian company. It's the same thing. So this was to implement an innovation department, for example. And we started also, so if you want to become an innovation department, first of all, you are a service inside the company and understand the other departments. So what do you expect from innovation? What is innovation? If you have so many ideas now, if you have an idea in the company, how do you realize this, to understand the steps? And then it's the same thing. It's really always the same procedure. So to get all the perspectives and all the answers and statements from the different departments and understand, okay, what is the issue? Is it more into creating awareness that you can ideate, or is it creating something that they can deliver their ideas? And you do a lot of things about helping them fine-tuning. Do you need to set up an innovation hub, a physical one? Or do you need just to spread awareness and have workshops and stuff like this? It was really, we were even looking what is service, because an innovation department means servicing the other departments. So we went out, an analogy, this is one tool in the understanding phase. And we're going out, okay, what is service? Even if I'm going to a travel agency and I'm looking at myself, what is a good service? What is a bad service? And then things come up. So if they ignore me, or I feel as if they treat me, okay, they see me and they directly know what they have to sell me instead of asking me. So also this, you can reapply on what do we want to deliver to our other departments. So we listen to them, we make them come, we are friendly and so forth. So there is a lot of things. Same thing with Saudi Film Commission, to set up the department. So especially, so both times it was innovation departments, and innovation is always enabling and fostering new ideas and implement ideas. So there it was mainly how can we enable people to innovate? And this was like, how can we be like an agency and understand just what is the need of the people, of the departments or of the customer? And then only then you build your services.
I see. I just heard, by the way, that they have an innovation lab applying design thinking concepts for Hajj and Umrah services.
With
because
Amani, right? In Mecca, she's doing that project. She was telling me also about it.
So people come for Hajj and Umrah, especially from different cultures, and this is the first experience. It's very immersive for them. So unless you really feel and have this, the full feeling and can, live their emotions, what they go through during every step, and
Yes.
what we call moments of truth, you will not be able to design any solution that
Exactly.
is effective unless you have this immersive experience with so I'm very glad to hear that Hajj and Umrah also is applying some design thinking concepts.
And there we come even back to the question before, do you need to be from the industry? And I would even say here, the best thing, I know it's not allowed, but if someone like a Christian would do the journey, because he will challenge everything. So how do I know where to go? How do I take airplane? Whatever. So this is also the journey to try to do with someone who have never done it. Because if you have done it already, you know more or less. So you're blind to things. But yeah, it's always, I say everything can be solved with design thinking, even relationship problems. Understand the perspectives.
Now it is 9:12, and we have almost the full crowd, staying with us till the end of the webinar. Thank you very much, Isabel, one more time for giving us the opportunity to host you in this webinar, and I really look forward for the participants to join us for the training program. They will enjoy the journey, inshallah, and we look forward for welcoming you again in future seminars. Thanks a lot. And good night to everyone, wherever you are. And you are in Italy, right?
Yes, I'm in Rome. Thank you, everybody. Thank you for attending and listening and the good questions. All right. Bye-bye. Thank you.
Bye-bye.